Hi, I'm Kushan Mitra, contributing editor at ThePrint, and I'm here in the Nubra Valley on the Volkswagen Experiences Ladakh. And in fact, we actually did go up to the Siachen Glacier base camp. You'll see all of that in this video. But for now, admire the car I've been driving up from Leh and back to Leh, and we'll be going on many more adventures on this trip. Right there in the Nubra Valley is the Diskit Monastery. It dates back to 1433, and it's very unique because up there, the very height of it, there is a Mahakal temple. Mahakal over here means the protector temple, and the protector of the temple in his hands holds the skull and arm of a Mongolian warrior who came in the 16th century to raid the temple, and legend has it that he was cursed and everyone in that army was cursed. The monastery was never, of course, raided. Behind me, you can see the 108-foot tall statue of the Mitra Buddha. This was built much more recently, and he overlooks the entire Nubra Valley. And the Nubra meets the Siachen somewhere over there, but the valley itself is a wide expanse. The Nubra, of course, flowing down from the Siachen Glacier, as I said earlier. It's a beautiful part of the world. And to come here, you have to go over the Khardungla Pass from Leh. That, at 18,000 feet, is now the second highest motorable road in the world after Umlingla. But it's a beautiful place, and you must, if you can, and you don't have any altitude sickness problems, come to this side of the world. Of course, I'm here with the Volkswagen Virtus on Volkswagen Experiences Ladakh. Now it's time for lunch and to head back to Leh. Earlier, we had an opportunity to visit the Siachen Glacier base camp. Over here, you not only get a stunning view of the Siachen Glacier in the Karakoram mountains, but you also get to visit the very sombre Siachen War Memorial, where the names of almost 1,000 men are etched. These are men who have laid down their lives in the defense of our country at Siachen. We salute their sacrifice. So we've just crested Khardungla, or K-top as it's known. It's about 3 degrees outside. We've gone through some beautiful mountains. There's Project Vijaya, which is the Border Roads Organization, 17,982 feet. Pretty much more than halfway to the top of the world in Everest. Beautiful mountains. And a beautiful ride in the Volkswagen Experiences Ladakh. The Volkswagen Experiences Ladakh drive began from Chandigarh with a customer event. Volkswagen customers from all over India were flagged off from Chandigarh, and they drove up to Leh along the Manali-Leh highway. Along the way, they shared their love and passion for driving and travel experiences, and they enjoyed the fantastic views and, of course, the picnics and the camaraderie. We spoke to several of those involved in the drive to find out what their experience was. If you want to join the next Volkswagen Experiences drive, please go to your closest Volkswagen India dealer or look at the link in the description below.
I'm sure it's guaranteed to be the best trip of my life. My most awaited trip to Ladakh in my favorite car. We own 4 VWs, and I'm sure we're going to love them for our lives.
I'm here partly because I love to drive, so I've driven almost, I have been to Spiti, I have not been to Leh, so I have driven my own car most of the places. So for me, the most enjoyable is to drive, and I'm looking forward to that only.
The coordination of everyone, the crew and the guidance of them guiding us every step. Like even if one truck is coming front of us, we were guided. That was the beauty of it. So we were so, carefree basically. We were enjoying. It was not like, अरे यार अब आगे जाके पता नहीं कौन से टर्न पे क्या आने वाला है. So that was a beautiful part of it.
There's a cold wind blowing in from the west, but the wind is blowing away the clouds. Why is it blowing away the clouds? Because we'll be able to see the Milky Way at night. Behind me on the top of that hill is the observatory where Indian astronomers get to study the night sky in all its glory, out here in Hanle. Well, the winds have actually blown away all the clouds, so I'm really looking forward to this because it's been a really long time since I've seen a star-filled sky. You don't get to see a star-filled sky anymore anywhere you go in India because of all the light pollution and all the haze in the air nowadays. So this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and something I'm really looking forward to tonight. So as the sun sets behind the hill and the night sky appears, let's hope for the best. At around midnight, videographer Danishman Khan and I drove up the road to Hanle Observatory, which was of course shut, but we found ourselves at a height and we looked up at the skies. Despite the half moon being extremely bright and obscuring a bit of the Milky Way, we got a fantastic view of the stars. Above the observatory, we could make out the Big Dipper, the Great Bear, as we call it, Ursa Major, pointing to the North Star. It was a fantastic sight. Everywhere in the sky we looked, you could see constellations that you do not get to see in any major Indian city right now with so much light and haze pollution. As Coldplay says, the sky was full of stars. In the morning, it was time to head back downhill. As we headed out of Hanle, I feasted my eyes on the high altitude desert landscape of Ladakh. It was stunning to just drive down this patch of black ribbon as the road wound itself through sand, and on the side there were green meadows with wild horses grazing. What a sight! My eyes were just amazed by this visual feast. This car has again made me realize just how absurd India's obsession with SUVs has become. Because not only has this car crested Khardungla, and keep in mind it has a 1-litre turbocharged engine, it crested Khardungla 18,000 feet. It's also been going over some really rough patches of road, no questions asked. Yes, some rocks might hit the underbody and all of that, but that hit that in a SUV as well. And when the roads are good, this sedan handles like a dream. You're just going through the corners. There's no other traffic anywhere. I've been having a blast. It's been the perfect car to take in Ladakh. I mean, you would think Ladakh is all about big SUVs, but this sedan, it has genuinely surprised me. After spending a night at the hill station town of Keelong, we had to head back to Delhi. We had shared our hotel with yet another group of motorcycle riders. It definitely seems to be a bucket list item for motorcycle riders to drive up to Lahaul, Spiti and Ladakh. So we have reached the outskirts of Chandigarh. We still have another few hours of driving to go before we get back to Delhi, but I wanted to give you my roundup of how my experience with Volkswagen Experiences Ladakh was. Well, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, as it must have been, as you've heard from all the customers who took part on this drive as well. But for me personally, going to Khardungla top for the very first time at 18,000 feet, then going to the Siachen Glacier base camp, staying the night at Nubra Valley, and then on our own with the print, going to India's first dark sky reserve at Handley and seeing the stars, and then on the way back driving through Atal Tunnel. It's been spectacular. It's been great fun. Yes, it's been a lot of driving. I've already driven 1500 kilometers. We still have another 300 kilometers to go before we get back to Delhi. I've had a fabulous car in the Virtus 1 litre TSI, as I've told you earlier. And now it's time to get a spot of food to eat. And thank you so much for watching this video. And thank you Volkswagen India for collaborating with ThePrint.